Hey gang, you're listening to the Nerd Blitz with Doom and Fitz. I'm Doom.
And I'm Fitz.
And you're listening to our 10th episode.
Here it is, our 10th episode.
Hooray.
Who fucking thought we made it this far?
I know. That's pretty cool.
And what I really need to say is, this is our last recording before the camping trip, available at tsdjaproductions.bandcamp.com. This is our last recording before the camping trip actually goes live.
Yeah, it might be our last recording ever if, we make millions off of that Bandcamp.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because it'll have been out for a few weeks by the time this drops. So
yeah,
I'm sure I'll have to hire a fucking accountant and a tax lawyer and everything else to deal with all the money that's going to be rolling in.
God, I hope so. So, as we're leading up to it, and this wasn't planned, I just thought of this. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling as we're leading up to the release this Wednesday?
I'm ready. I'm ready for it to be out. I'm ready to get feedback. My greatest fear is that we'll just be laughed at, or worse yet, like it'll just be silence.
Be like, hey, the camping trip's out, and everybody's like, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll sell like 2 copies, and then that's it.
Well,
and nobody, or we'll sell like 5 or 6 copies, and nobody will still say anything about it. which to me means if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
No shit.
So it's like, okay, they can't even like make fun of us. Okay, that's really bad. It's so bad they don't even want to sully themselves with making fun of us.
I told you this last night, I think it was, that you're going through, and I'm going through it too, those same nerves that you're having, that either people will be like, oh my god, they're so fucking lame. I've got that fear, or just, fucking put it out, it'll sell, 5 or 6 copies in crickets.
Yeah.
I've got those same fears too, and it's the same shit I've gone through many times with, different videos I've put out, like all 4 of those Star Wars videos. And I even had people, like, when I was writing those, telling me, like, this is pretty good, keep going. All 4 of them, right before I released them, it was like, oh god, what if this is the one where they laugh? What if this is the one where they say, has this fucking idiot ever seen Star Wars? Does he know what Star Wars is?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that video I did, Family Dinner, and that other one, Love and War, where I got a little serious for a minute.
Yeah.
After I cut those, I got them all ready. It's like, wait, what if they laugh? What if, I think I'm being, serious and kind of emotional, and they're like, look at this fucking loser.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been through this feeling many times, and I hope it turns out as well as those experiences did.
Me too. That being said, the thing that I'm going to end up hanging my hat on is, like, it's done. You know, we did it beginning to end. It's done. It's packaged. It's published.
Yep. And again, I'm with you. I've had many ideas where, I have them, and it's like, well, no way I can do it, because, it has to be shot, or, whatever, shit like that. I've had them, and they just die on the vine, because there's nothing I can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
This, at the very least, even if everybody else thinks it's a piece of shit, they laugh at us, they're fucking, think it was just the stupidest idea ever, I can always be proud that I didn't, or we didn't just let it die. It wasn't just me saying, hey, would you want to do an audio drama? And it's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And then it just fucking died there. We followed it through, we pursued it, we did it, it's out there. Whether people like it or not, it's out there. So again, I'm with you on that.
Yep, set it free and let it live its own life now.
Mm-hmm. And this is a little inside baseball, and if you want to cut it, that's up to you.
Uh-huh.
I was counting it out, how many people who've, followed the production of it, which this is something we didn't talk about on the bonus pod because we didn't, know at that point it still wasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a 6-month production to the day. December 26th to June 26th. Exactly 6 months to the day that this was done, or this took. And I was thinking about it, all the people, and I've heard from them all since we've announced the date for it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty safe in saying that we're probably going to sell more than 5 or 6. It feels like at least 8, which, I mean, what's the difference between 5 or 6 and 8? It's a big difference, at least for my psyche.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good about it. And there's a few people like, oh God, I don't know how to pronounce it. She's going to kill me for not knowing, but at Ginger, Narce, I don't know how to pronounce it because that's just how I am.
Mm-hmm.
She posted it on her Tumblr. She posted the poster for it on her Tumblr, which that right there, that's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That I can't even fucking express how awesome that is to me. Because, you know, she's been listening to us, and now she's fucking doing this. She seems really excited for it because she's a big camper, so...
Yeah.
That's going to be ruined for her soon.
Spoilers, there's not a ton of camping being done, but...
There's a lot of blood. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm excited about it. I'm anxious to get it out there. And like I said, bottom line, I'm just proud that we did it.
Yeah. We'll always have something that's done, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we've got, at this point, 7 episodes of something that's done.
Oh, yeah.
This is another thing. It's like, I've wanted to tweet it, but it doesn't... In print, it sounds like, oh God, he's got a gun in his mouth. That's not what it is, but it's like this pod and then all the shit I've done on YouTube, the camping trip. Finally, I don't have that feeling like, if I die tomorrow, oh well. I finally feel like there's a body of work out there to be proud of, you know?
Well, good.
So, I'll try to stay away from any place dangerous for the next couple days. But yeah, it does. When you put that in Twitter, it's like, I finally got a body of work that if I die tomorrow, I can be proud of. That sounds like I'm sitting over here with my fucking toe on the trigger of my shotgun. It's like, goodbye, crew. So, yeah. Camping trip, it's now available. Go buy it, please, God, please. And if you like it, tell us. And if you like it, tell your friends. And let's just all fucking hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Yeah. If you don't like it, just, you know.
Keep that to yourself, please.
Yeah. No refunds. All sales final.
Yes. And hopefully by this point, we'll have the other thing ready. If you want to talk about that real quick before we get into the shit we have planned.
Oh, yeah. The
posters.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What'd you think I was talking about?
Book club.
Oh, well, I'm hoping that'll launch after episode 9, but
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, we want to get the camping trip totally out of the way before we start dropping those.
Even start fucking around with book club, yeah.
Yeah, because those still got to be cut.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired.
I know, man. We're hoping to have posters available, too. We're still trying to figure out the logistics of how we're going to do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now the thing that makes the most sense would be to order a small batch of them, 11 by 17, and then probably just set them up on eBay. I started to do it on the Bandcamp site, but then I realized, you know, they don't do any shipping for you or anything. So domestic, it's no big deal. I could just mail them. That's no big deal. But
yeah, we
have people who listen international. And if for some reason somebody wants one, it's like
butt fuck you.
Oh, it would more than butt fuck you. Like I think the cheapest package. Like we mailed those business cards, which we could mention that too. Is those have shown up for people
all around the world.
Yeah, and those like first class international letter was like $1.
Yeah,
it was like $1.50, something like that. To go to fucking Spain or, you know, wherever, Costa Rica even. But then if it's the next size up from letter, which is package, or where there's like I think oversized flat mailer or something, like it's bigger than a letter but it's still flat. We would do them rolled anyway, and so that would be a package. And the cheapest package international shipping is like $25. And it's like, I was like, holy fuck, we were only going to sell them for like $5. So if I have to make you guys pay $25 to mail them somewhere, that's not cool.
No.
So, but eBay has an international shipping program. So, I mean, the way I understand it, it's, you know, I just ship it to a place in Georgia and then they route it to whatever country it's going to. Yeah. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't cost anything extra. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think we'll
find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. As if anybody international is really going to buy one of these, but I want the option to be there without the prohibitive, like, holy fuck, it's going to cost $25 to ship it. Forget that.
It's going to cost more to ship it than it is for you to fucking buy the goddamn thing.
Yeah, you could buy fucking 5 of them for how much it costs to ship it.
No shit. The point is, we're trying to make them available if you want them as cheap as we possibly can to buy and ship them.
Yeah.
Because shipping is going to be included, shipping is going to be added to what you pay to buy the damn thing.
Right.
So
let's not get crazy.
Some of us are already there.
Yeah.
Watch for the posters and camping trips available. Again, tsdjaproductions.bandcamp.com. We got that out of the way. Now what are we going to go into?
We've been going for like 15 minutes or so. Should we go into the first topic, or do you want to do your joke first?
Let's get the fucking most painful part out of the way.
Take our medicine first, and then we'll eat the broccoli first, and then we can have the ice cream.
Yep.
All right.
Play the theme song. Doom's Joke Corner. Okay. That's always weird because for us it's like, half a second, but for them they gotta wait 6 seconds and we gotta act like we waited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have to act like it, but you sort of feel like you have to. Anyway.
Except when you talk about it, then it doesn't really seem like we waited.
Yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. Quit fucking falling, you cocksucker.
Sorry.
Doom Unleashed. Anywho. Trust me, when we get to the end of the show and we do fuck this shit, or fuck that shit, I forget what it's called again.
I think it's fuck this shit.
There's gonna be a lot of fucking anger from me. Trust me. Because I've got shit to unleash. Okay, here's a joke.
Here's a fucking joke. Listen to it, goddammit.
You alright over there?
No, that was you. That was me impersonating you.
Okay. You gotta heighten it a little. Get a little more angry.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Mr. McGee, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Let's stop talking about that shit because you fucking make those references and I want to go back and watch that show or talk about it, damn it.
Another day.
Yeah. See, I want to talk about Twilight Zone again, too. Anywho, 2 cannibals were wandering around in the desert for days without food.
How long was it?
It's not that kind of joke.
Oh,
man.
sorry.
This ain't
Okay.
Match Game.
Okay, go ahead.
They were hungry and desolate. To their delight, they stumble upon a dead human carcass, pristine from any scavengers. So the 2 cannibals sink their teeth into the dead flesh, tearing it apart, one starting from the head, one starting from the toes. After a few minutes, the guy at the head yells to the cannibal at the bottom, "Hey, how's it going down there?" The cannibal at the bottom yells, "This is great! I'm having a ball!" The guy at the top says, "Hey, slow down and enjoy it! You're eating too damn fast!"
Oh, God.
Woo! That's good.
Get it? Because he was eating his nuts?
Nothing makes a joke funnier than when you have to explain it.
Uh-huh. Well, I just wanted to make sure it didn't go over anybody's head.
Oh, good lord. No, these people are smart. They like the joke corner. They get it. They weren't all almost doctors like you, but they understand jokes.
Yeah, I know. I was almost a doctor. Thank you.
I know. I listened to that episode.
Yeah. If you want to hear all about my educational background, you can listen to Just Jump to the End.
At JJ2END on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Are we just going to whore or are we going to talk about shit?
I don't know. I thought the punchline to that joke was going to be that he was eating a roast beef sandwich. I didn't know you were going to go so tame with it.
Well, I mean...
That was almost G-rated.
I just got to go... I got to go with what I find.
I know.
I didn't even think about that. That would have been good. So, let's get into our first topic, which, to me, it's more a topic for you, but I heard about it, and I saw the first one, and I wanted to hear your reaction.
Okay.
This week, who was it? John Cho? That's his name, right?
Yeah. Harold.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. One of the Harold and Kumar
Harold
kids.
of Harold and Kumar fame.
Yeah. Which, now I want some White Castles.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
And I want to punch Neil Patrick Harris in the face.
Oh, yes, and that's something we're going to have to talk about at some point, too. If we didn't already, I can't remember.
Yeah, we mentioned it, but...
Yeah. all in all, fuck him. And there's going to be a fuck you in this story, too. John Cho was doing an interview or something. He said that in the new Star Trek movie that's probably out by this point, Sulu's gay. And everybody was like, oh my, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, everybody was like, yeah, we know. Oh, you mean the character.
I just wanted to get your reaction to it, and I wanted to talk about the main reaction to it, But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I did see that. Did that article, did it say how he was going to be outed in the movie? Like, does he get a boyfriend, or is it like...
I didn't get to read it because, as you know, my phone's been acting retarded this week. I've seen different tweets and shit that it's not like, he bursts in the room and he's like, I need a cock in my mouth or something. What it is he's just like...
Scotty, beam it in.
I was just thinking that's going to be perfect for his swear reel. Like, at some point, he just mentions either he's got a boyfriend or you see him hug a boyfriend or something like that. I'm not real clear on what it is. Again, I couldn't do as much research on this because my phone's been acting stupid, so sorry. But yeah, at some point in the story, it's either shown or alluded to that he has a boyfriend.
Okay.
And like I said, I wanted to talk about the big reaction to it, the one person who had a reaction to it, and then I wanted to talk about your reaction to it.
Okay, so you want to get my reaction first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care because
okay.
I don't care because I don't recognize these movies anyway, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, this one specifically because of who the writer is, because when we talk about the reaction that I'm wanting to get to, we'll talk about the writer, Simon fucking Pegg.
Fuck, I forgot he's writing this.
And you said you don't recognize these movies, which, I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a piece of shit.
Well, I'll tell you...
that first JJ movie was good.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. The first one, I recognized the shit out of that movie when it was in the theater.
Yeah.
For sure. I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is... If they're going to reboot it, like, this is the way to do it. This was awesome.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've never been a huge Star Trek fan because Star Trek was... I mean, I'm not trying to slam it, but Star Trek is more boring. It's about, discovery and exploration.
Well, it's about social issues.
That too.
Yeah.
But I mean, what they present it as, it's a show about exploration.
Right.
Yeah.
And
to me, it's just like, fuck that. I want to see somebody get fucked up.
You'd probably like Deep Space Nine, which sounds like a real fucking weird porno, but it's actually...
I've seen some of The Next Generation, and I actually like that because I'm a big Patrick Stewart fan and have been for a while.
Yeah. Oh, that show's awesome. I'm just saying the DS9 is it's more like at some point they have like an all-out war.
Yeah.
So there's lots more pew 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 in that one.
I would give it a shot because the older I get, the more I'm, wanting to get into Star Trek, but it's just kind of hard, at this point. But yeah, I haven't seen the second JJ movie. I loved the first one when they, started talking about it. It did kind of piss me off because anytime somebody's getting ready to reboot something and they're like, it ain't your grandpa's, whatever. Like Zack Snyder was saying that about Superbum. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. No, the first Star Trek movie was good. It's not, the only real problem I had with it was it only kind of felt like Star Trek.
Yeah.
And people have said this, especially since he got the job to do Episode 7 of Star Wars. Is like this was his audition tape for like he really wanted this to be a Star Wars movie real bad.
Yeah, and I mean he's even admitted that he's not the biggest Star Trek fan.
Yeah,
like he has a respect for it and everything, but it's just not what he grew up on.
But then the second one was like. I mean, I really wanted to, it's like it had Klingons in it and shit. And like, I was like, fuck yeah, dude, this is going to be awesome. And the Khan, not Khan bullshit. And it was like, oh, fuck, he's going to be Khan. But then the ending just fucking ruined it. It was like, you just fucked up. Like, it was such a ham-fisted
attempt to be a remake, but not be a remake.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, they're seriously not going to do this, are they? Fucking A, they sure did. It was like, God damn it.
That was always kind of made me sad because, like I said, that first one is so good, and then when I hear people say, like, oh, they shit the bed on the second one, it's like, oh.
Yeah, they kind of did. And I don't know, had the ending been different, if I would have felt that much different about it. Like, if the rest of the movie was... But, man, that ending was just really, like, it really bummed me out. It was like, fuck, I can't believe that you he just trampled all over like one of the most iconic endings of a science fiction movie ever. Like that's forever like burned into my brain, like that whole sequence and that whole scene. And then they just like, yeah, we're gonna do that, but we're just gonna do it like backwards.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's not dead.
Yeah. I've talked to Ross about it a few times, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
I don't know. And it's like almost like, I don't know. That's like one of those things that you just shouldn't touch. I understand why he did it, because it's basically like they basically made Star Trek 2 again. I mean, not really, not directly, but it's like, okay, well, the first Star Trek movie was this. The second Star Trek movie, let's make it the same as the second Star Trek movie. Let's make it the same theme or the same villain, but let's do it differently, which they did do it differently up until they didn't do it differently.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've heard a lot of people say that they didn't want to do a remake, but they wanted to do a remake of that one scene. And it's like, well, what's the fucking point?
Right. It just felt cheap.
If you're going to do a fucking remake, just flat out do a remake and own it.
Yeah, it felt cheap, and it didn't play as well. It does not play because you don't have...
It's an iconic moment, and you didn't fucking earn it like that other movie did.
Right, and not just the other
different.
Yeah, you didn't earn it, not just like the other movie earned it, but like the other continuity earned it.
Yeah, that too.
The whole interplay between Kirk and Spock at the end of Wrath of Khan is like the culmination of years, 3 years of a TV show and a full-length movie and a cartoon series and decades of people watching those two interact.
And like, if you look at the first JJ movie, for most of the movie they hated each other. So yeah, I can see what you mean. They didn't earn it in that sense, but I mean, you can't just fucking take a scene like that out of another movie and put it into your movie just because you think it's going to be cool. If you want to remake it, just fucking remake the movie.
Right. And then basically it's like, then it's fucking Spock rage in both of those movies. It's like, Spock doesn't Spock rage, okay? He doesn't go fucking apeshit like Zachary Quinto does in, like, I think he does it in both of the movies, doesning he? Doesn't he go kind of apeshit at the end of the first movie? And
I know he does as a little kid, when those, kids are pushing him around.
I buy. I buy that. I don't buy it as an adult.
The half-human part of him, he's learning to control it and
right.
shit. Yeah,
I bought that. That was cool. I liked that. But then...
I'm thinking about it now, and you're right. Quinto does on the bridge when, after Kirk talks to old Spock, and he tells him, you've got to push him to the edge, and then Quinto, he does kind of fucking go, blah! And go after him. Yeah. So, yeah, you're right.
I guess I buy that more than the fact that he does it again in the second movie. Like, even on an even bigger scale, like, goes commando after...
I think in the first movie, again, they earned it by, you see it in young Spock, and then old Spock tells Kirk, you've got to do whatever you can to make him pissed so you can take over and take your rightful place.
That definitely made more sense. That makes sense. I get that. I get why they had to do that, but the second movie, was more like, well, now how are we going to catch Khan? Oh, I know. We'll make fucking Spock go into berserker rage and fucking fly after him like Point Break without a parachute, and they can have this fucking fight in the air and shit. And it's like, fuck this shit. That's not Spock.
I still want to see that movie, but it kind of takes the wind out of my sails a little bit.
Yeah. I guess as a movie, it's fine, but if Star Trek had never existed before that movie, it would have been fine. It would have been totally fine. But
after, following everything they did, yeah. So
back to Sulu, to gay Sulu. I don't care. I mean, not even so much that I don't recognize those movies, but like, okay, so he's gay, big deal. Who cares? Like, does anybody even give a shit about that anymore? Like, you got to be really...
You've got to be really fucking...
Yeah, you got to be really out there to get any kind of attention now. Like, it's like, yeah, he's gay. So what?
The thing that always bugs me, though, is when they make, announcements about somebody's gay, and if you want equality and shit, you don't fucking... And guess who's gay now? No, you just fucking do it,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the media.
I know. And it's like, that's why... we've got all these troubles with that type of shit is because, the idiots come out of the woodwork when they hear the announcements. It's like, just stop making the announcements. Just let him be gay, and it's fine. If people don't want to accept them, fuck them. You don't have to give them an excuse to come out and be idiots. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
But the thing I wanted to get to was, oh my, George Takei.
Oh, yeah, Takei.
What'd you make of his reaction to it?
Oh, I mean, I was surprised. I thought it was a cool reaction.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that he went that way with it. Basically, he came out and he's like, yeah, that's great that they're including a gay character in the movie now, and he's all for that, and that's great, that's awesome, but making Sulu gay is not the way to do it. Like, that's a twisting of Gene Roddenberry's original vision and creation, and they shouldn't. That's a mistake to take an original character and make that change to him. I thought that was cool because, like, that's fucking loyalty, dude. How long has Gene Roddenberry been dead? And he's going to come out and say, why are you fucking this guy over his legacy and his creation by making such a major change to a character he created?
Yeah. And, well, see, the other weird thing is like, before he finally came out and made that statement, I saw a couple people who claimed to know him that were like, oh, he loves it. He thinks it's just great that they finally showing him respect and they're honoring him by making Sulu gay. And then he came out.
That's what people would have assumed. That's what I would have assumed. I was like, well, of course they would make him gay. Like, fucking George Takei is gay as the day is long.
Yeah.
Why not?
There were
Why
actually
not?
people who claimed to know him saying that. There's like, oh yeah, I talked to him about it. He says it's great.
Oh, everybody's full of shit, though. You can't.
And then
you can't believe
he
anything
fucking comes
anybody
out and he's
says.
like, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he comes out and is like, that's bullshit. And it's like, well, first of all, he's the originator of that character, so I put weight in what he says. But the other thing, and I've told you this, Stan Lee and Dwayne McDuffie have been saying basically, well, not Dwayne McDuffie anymore because he died, but for years they had said the same fucking thing. If you want to do this type of shit, you don't twist an existing character to do it. You create a new character and you get them respect. You don't all of a sudden be like, oh, guess what, he's gay. Or, oh, guess what, this character's black now. He's been white for years, but he's black now. Or, oh, all of a sudden this character's a woman. You don't do that shit because all that is you're just trying to fill a quota.
Well, it's kind of like, it's like smacks of pandering. Like,
yeah.
Like if I was,
that's what I was gonna say.
I can't really say because
pander to certain groups.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really sit here and say anything about it because it's not like I don't have that experience. But
yeah,
like I would think that. I mean, I can't. I don't know. I was gonna say if it were me, I would almost see through it as like this is just them trying to get me on board. Yeah, they're trying to get my money now.
All they're trying to do is get my wallet.
Right. And the easiest thing to do is just to, I don't know. I can see both sides of it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. But like I said, I agree with what Stan Lee's been saying for years. I agree what Dwayne McDuffie said for years. I agree with fucking what George Takei is saying now. It's just wrong to do it like that. I mean, I guess I can understand the other way of like, yeah, you need to be more diverse, but it's like, if you want to be more diverse, just fucking be diverse. Don't twist somebody else's legacy or creation or, history. Come up with something original. Dwayne McDuffie did that shit all the time with Static in the comics and Static Shock in the animated series.
Yeah, and you can kind of even see it now with Black Panther. Fucking Black Panther's on fire since Civil War.
Yeah.
Since they finally put him in Civil War, like, he's finally getting some respect now. Like, they relaunched his book, and his book's fucking on fire. Like, I almost bought issue 1 the other day. I was going to get it, but it was like fucking $10 and still on the shelf. Like,
damn.
Yeah. I mean, they're on issue 3, and it's fucking $10 already for issue 1. I was like, fuck it. Wow. I'll just wait for the trade then.
No shit.
But it made me really want to read it, like, because I've heard such great things about it.
And then supposedly the dude that's writing him, he's supposedly a great writer. And, I mean, it's kind of like Iron Man. In the comics, yeah, Iron Man, he did get a lot of play, he did get a lot of usage, but Before fucking Robert Downey Jr., nobody talked about Iron Man. He wasn't shit except to, the few comic, loving people who kind of saw him, Spider-Man, and Captain America as the big three at Marvel. But the general public, they didn't know shit about him. Black Panther. Comic readers have known about Black Panther for years. It was like, yeah, he's cool. He's got the cool costume. Vibranium. It comes from Wakanda. Whatever. But now it's fucking launching him to the, stratosphere because of Civil War. That's how you need to do it. Create characters, and even if it takes a little while, just create original characters. Don't warp another character, because then you're going to piss off the people who've been a fan of that character for years.
Yeah, and it's different than this is different than Miles Morales as Spider-Man or something like that.
Which,
like,
I have a problem with that simply because Peter Parker Spider-Man, period.
Well,
but
yeah, I know, but it's not like they're like, this is Peter Parker and he's a black guy now.
Yeah,
this is a totally separate person who just has the Spider-Man identity.
Who they created originally.
Yeah.
They didn't warp somebody else. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, but the Sulu thing is like, well, this is Sulu. Although, I mean, I guess even that's not that big of a deal in this, because it's like, well, it's an alternate reality Sulu. It's an alternate timeline Sulu.
True.
So technically it's not the same, you know what I'm saying? It's technically this is a completely separate character.
Yeah, that's very true. But, I mean, this version of the character is going to live on in the comics, because they've got a comic that's in this timeline.
Oh, yeah?
But, yeah, from what I've heard, I don't know if it's still going or not, but I can see where, George is coming from, where he's like, that's not right. And because this character's been around for a few years, and if that comic keeps going, because, I mean, these movies are successful, so I'm sure that comic's got some steam. That's going to live on for a few years. So if you're like Takai, it's going to just be a reminder that people are just warping it for, dollars or whatever. But yeah, I wanted your reaction to that, because you've forgotten more about Star Trek than I've ever fucking learned. So. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It's fine. Like I said, I can see both sides of why, don't twist a character to just pander to a specific audience. Create something new that they can have, that's their own. It's not like, it's almost
stealing
like it's
from
almost
somebody to
not even stealing, but it's almost like, well, here, you can have this character now. You know what I mean? It's almost like, to me, it's almost insulting, like a hand-me-down character. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I can see that side too.
But yeah, I just wanted to get your reaction to it, because again, you're the Trek fan, and I really wanted to say that piece about Stan Lee and Dwayne McDuffie, because that to me is the most important.
And really, if you go back and watch some of those 60 Star Trek shows, fucking Sulu's got some sugar in that tank, man. Woo. I'm not kidding, dude. I mean, there's one where
Takai actually said that even though he's been gay for, years, he never played Sulu as gay. He was
no. I'm not saying he intentionally played him as gay. I'm saying
no. I'm just saying though. He said he made the decision to not play Sulu as gay. He was making sure he played him as straight.
Right.
Agreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah. But there's some unintentional stuff that you look back now and go, "Whoo, yeah."
Oh,
should have seen that coming.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because there's this, if you ever can watch it, this is an episode called The Naked Time. And it's, well, I know it sounds retarded, but they actually kind of redid it for The Next Generation. I forget what
did they?
Yeah, I forget what they called it, but it's basically like this space dust or space, I almost said fairy dust, but that's not, I shouldn't say that. I may have to cut that.
Okay.
It was like it's like this space dust or this space mold or fungus or something. People breathe it in, the spores, and it makes them like lose all inhibition. So they're just like doing whatever the fuck they feel like. And like in The Next Generation, it happened, and like Troy fucked Data, like the robot.
The robot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw that when I was like 15, and I'm like, oh my God, she just took the robot, and she's going to fuck that robot. Because she does. She even asked him, she's like, are you fully operational or something in all areas or something like that? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I don't have a library of all kinds of like fucking sexual shit. So like he's gonna, he's gonna give it to her.
Did she ever have a pixelated baby?
Oh, lol. It's it was just it's like a baby with like a genderless. It was like an android, I think.
Wait, that really happened?
He built an. Oh yeah, I thought you were being serious.
No, I was making a joke. Did she have a fucking pixelated baby?
Oh, did she have a pixelated baby? No.
Yeah.
No, later in
like,
the series, he created some kind
offspring.
of yeah.
Huh.
What the fuck was I talking? Oh yeah, but anyway, in the original series, Naked Time, the same kind of thing happened, and obviously there was nobody fucking robots, but at one point, Sulu has like I don't even know how the fuck, but he takes his shirt off, like his tunic, his uniform top. So he's shirtless, and he's got like a fucking fencing foil, like a little rapier or a saber or something.
Yeah.
And he's running around like a fucking swashbuckling pirate, okay? And he's like saying all this crazy shit and like jumping through the air and like fucking like trying to duel people and shit. It's fucked up, man. And it's so fucking funny, dude, because it is like so gay.
I was gonna say that fucking makes the gay Blade literal, doesn't it?
Oh, it was so. And you look at it now, and it's like, oh my god, that is so gay. He's so good at that.
Oh boy. So yeah. Oh, and the thing I wanted to say about Simon Pegg, Takai said all that he said about it's disrespectful to Roddenberry's legacy and the character. And Pegg said, well, I've got to respectfully disagree with that.
Who said that? Oh, Simon
and it's
Pegg.
Like, yeah, and it's like, cocksucker, did you ever meet Gene Roddenberry? Did you know him for decades like Takai did?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
goes back to that thing is he's just fucking so goddamn full of himself.
He is pretty full of himself. I think we talked about it. I think we talked about it once before, right? With the way that he shits on Star Trek people if they think, like the people who thought that the Star Trek 2 was crap, and basically he was like said they're all fucking idiots. Anybody who says that's a fucking idiot.
We talked about that, but I know I think we talked about it like on Twitter or something.
Oh, okay.
And didn't he say that those people that don't fucking recognize it are just too stupid to see that it's one of the greatest movies of all time or something like that?
I don't know. He said some pretty fucking crazy shit.
The big thing that, because I used to be a big fan of Simon Pegg, I will admit it. Like Shaun of the Dead used to be one of my favorite movies.
Oh, I loved Shaun of the Dead. I thought that was great movie. Now I can't hardly watch it, but
I haven't been able to watch it since he started, really hardcore running his mouth. And the thing that turned me against him was him shitting on the Star Wars prequels and saying anybody who likes those or thinks that they're redeemable in any way is just a fucking retard. And it's like, oh, okay, fuck you. Mm-hmm. And it's not like he was joking.
No, he's dead serious.
Yeah.
He's been shitting on that since episode 1 came out, when he was on that space. I was
gonna say, since it started, yeah.
Yeah, when he was doing that space show in the UK, he's been shitting on that.
And it's like, I never really knew that he fucking was that insane about it. Like, every once in a while, I'd hear him throw out a joke or something.
Well, yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
fine.
well, just jump on the bandwagon with everybody else who likes to throw a little fucking barb here and there, but
when I heard how serious he was about it, it's like, okay, fuck you, dude. Cut it off. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And he just fucking lost me forever. And the thing that gets me is all the shit he talked about the prequels, and it had to have gotten back to George. How the fuck did he get into the Clone Wars animated series?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how that could. I don't understand because.
And it's set during the prequel era.
Yeah, I don't understand that because fucking David Prowse still can't go to a goddamn Star Wars convention.
For something he did like in the 80s or something.
And he may or may not have actually done.
Yeah, it's still rumored, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not rumored that he said it, but like, he claims that he was like entrapped into it.
And it's kind of foggy on when he said it too, isn't it? Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, it was, I don't know, there's different accounts of, I mean, even he changes his story, so who the fuck knows? But basically it was when Return of the Jedi was coming out, he was basically fucking excommunicated. Or no, sorry, when...
I think it was after Empire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was after... Let's see. No, I think it was... No, it was Jedi. Well...
See, that again, that's why I said it's not even sure when he said it. Because
right, but anyway, somehow he let the cat out of the bag that Darth Vader was Luke's father.
And that got him fucking blacklisted from Lucasfilm and all Lucasfilm events forever.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, even after George sold Lucasfilm, I think he's still not allowed.
Yeah, but fucking Simon Pegg talks shit about George, about the prequels. He does all this shit. He talks shit about the fans. Yet this cocksucker was in the Clone Wars.
That's an undisputable matter of record.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, he's open about it. Anytime Star Wars comes up, he's talking about how they're not well-made films.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who loves them is stupid. They're pieces of shit. And it's well documented. I found out after, he finally planted his flag in the ground and said anybody who loves him is a retard. Mm-hmm. It is well documented. But it's like, he's talked all this shit about George, about how George made those movies, about those movies. But yet this cocksucker is in the Clone Wars... And he's in Episode 7. That fucking blows my mind.
He's in Episode 7 because he's JJ's boy.
I know.
Yeah.
But still, if I was Kathleen Kennedy, I would have said, no. And even if I was George, there is no way I would have let Filoni or anybody else cast that motherfucker in Clone Wars.
Yeah, which makes me think like he didn't know. He almost.
But I mean,
or he didn't, or he didn't know, or we think it must have gotten back to him, the shit that he's been saying, but. Who knows if it actually did? Like, if I was...
It must have, though, because remember when George retired, he was talking about the reason he quit is because everybody was, telling him how horrible he was and how he fucked up those movies. He said that was one of the reasons why he retired. Simon Pegg was one of the most vocal on that fucking front.
Well, it's true. He was pretty high profile, too.
He's been at all these large events, Comic-Cons and all this shit, just flat out shit-talking. So even if George didn't know, Filoni had to have known.
Yeah, it's baffling.
Some of those people at the company had to have heard we're casting Simon Pegg as Dengar and been like, wait, the motherfucker who's been shitting on George since 1999? It baffles me. It really fucking does. It's insane. But yeah, and he's telling Takai that he's wrong about Sulu, and it's like, come on, dude.
Oh, you mean only the guy who's played Sulu for fucking 50 years?
Yeah. You're really looking like an ass now, and I don't know why more people can't see it. So yeah, Sulu's gay in the JJ verse, and
Simon Pegg's an asshole. So as you can see, we're much more up in arms over Simon Pegg than we are over fucking gay Sulu.
Yeah.
And not actually fucking
like
gay
I said,
Sulu,
the only thing that really
bugs
me about the gay Sulu is like the reaction to it by, a few people. But fuck them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simon Pegg gets me fucking more angry. But yeah, if you're ready, let's move on to our next topic. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Tell us about your youth.
I've been very dismissive sometimes of pro wrestling, and it's no secret that when I was younger, when I was a kid, we would watch wrestling all the time. That was like a big thing in the mid 80s, late 80s.
Okay.
But then
this sounds normal.
Yeah, but then I said I grew out of it, and I don't watch wrestling now, and I don't follow that stuff, and it's just not my thing, and basically I've maintained that I'm kind of too cool for wrestling.
Okay. It happens to a lot of people.
I feel like I need to come clean, because that's not the whole story.
Okay.
I'm here today to confess that I participated in and ran multiple wrestling e-feds.
Okay.
So, would you like to explain to people what an e-fed is, or do you even know?
Well, I mean, you've sort of explained it half-assed.
Oh, right. You didn't even know what it was until I told you what it was.
On Twitter, yes. And like I said, you started explaining it, and it was like, oh my god, that is so cute!
Yeah. Okay, so it was true that I outgrew wrestling, and I was not into it anymore. And then around, 1999, 98, 99, something in there. I started talking to one of my cousins, and he was telling me about, because we used to be into wrestling together when we were younger.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, you should join my E-Fed. You should join this E-Fed that we're in. Him and this other friend of ours." And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" So he told me what it was, and I'm like, I don't know about that. So he asked me like several times. Finally, I joined, and what it is, so it was like a wrestling federation, okay, online.
Okay.
It was part simulation and part like role-playing game, okay?
Okay.
So you would create your wrestler, and the guys who ran the company, I say company in air quotes, they would book cards, like weekly matches, weekly cards.
Yeah.
And you would fill out a form, and you'd pick your wrestling style and your height and your weight and your finishing move, and you'd have a set number of points or whatever to where you could pick different moves that your guy knows, and they would enter this stuff into a simulator program, and the one that they used was TNM7. It was called TNM7,
Okay.
which, by the way, is still around. I Googled it today.
Yeah.
Go to TNM7.com. That motherfucker is still there. It's all updated. They have like all these new kinds of plugins and stuff that you can install. And anyway, the one that they had was like a 99 vintage. So it was like it was like a blue and red DOS window. And so they'd enter all your stats and shit into this thing, and then they could go in and set up cards, and then they'd run it, and it spits out like a simulated wrestling match, as if describing what's happening, and then they would take the text of that and then post that on the internet on their site, and that would be the results of the matches for the week. Now, in between the weekly matches, part of what your job was to go on message board on their site, and you'd have to post promos. You'd have to write promos and write little skits and shit. And the better that you did, the better you portrayed your character, and the more creative your promos and stuff were, you'd get more of a push in the company, right? Okay, so you'd get favored. You'd get a couple extra push points in the simulator, and sometimes they tried not to do this. We tried not to do this. Was like fudge matches and like make people win who didn't really win in the simulator. We tried to keep it fair like that, and then that became like a test of, is this motherfucker for real, or is he just a little bitch that's going to run away because he lost this match?
Okay.
So the good guys, the guys who are good at this thing, they'd take that loss, and they would cut like a searing promo. That's how you would move up, basically. Just like in real wrestling, I guess. So anyway, I joined this thing, and so I was in that for, I don't know, 2 years or so before. What, 2 years? Is that a long time?
Oh my god. 2 years?
Yeah. I held this hunk of metal up my ass 2 years. Yeah. So I was in it for like 2 years, and during that time, I got like super hardcore into wrestling. We went to live events and stuff, like real live events, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it was the three of us, my cousin, our mutual friend, and me. We ended up becoming like the head office people.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't know when I joined their Fed was, like, I created my character and everything, and there was all these guys, on the boards, active on the boards, and like doing their promos and stuff, and all these guys that I would interact with, and I would like write my little skits, and you'd go back and forth with guys on the message boards, like you're cutting promos back and forth.
Totally, yeah.
And what I didn't know at the time, so we had a couple matches, and then I was like the number one contender for the heavyweight title.
Okay.
And I ended up winning that belt like I don't know, a couple weeks after I joined. I was like, damn, that was fucking fun. I got this belt already. What I didn't realize was the reason I got that belt was because I was the only real fucking person in that league.
Oh my
so
God.
They catfished me, okay, on this thing. And so from that point forward, they kind of came clean and were like, yeah, I think there might have been like one other person that was a real person.
Okay.
But everything else were all fake characters, fake accounts that they had made up in order to make it look like there were more people in here than really were.
Oh my God, yeah.
So it was those two guys running like all the wrestlers, most of the wrestlers. So
Yeah.
and they thought I was pretty awesome at cutting these promos and stuff. They couldn't believe how good I was at writing this stuff.
Yeah.
So they let me in on the secret, and eventually it worked its way into where we were the three heads of this company. Eventually we got more people in, like more real people. I would say, I don't know, between 5 and 10 real guys at a time, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
So then we expanded into like, you know, we had the Sunday show, which was the Sunday Slobber Knocker, is what the name of the show was.
Okay.
And then there was a Thursday night show or Tuesday night show. I can't remember what, like a house card in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So anyway, the longer it went, the more I started taking over like all the different jobbers, like the jobber characters that were there when I started, that those guys were running, which they were like total like just knockoffs of like real wrestlers.
Yeah.
So there was like Sandstone was the guy's name, and he was basically the Iron Sheik.
Okay.
And there was Fred Atlas, and he was basically what's his name? God, I can't even think of his name anymore. But we all used like avatars, and they were all like real wrestlers, like their pictures, you know. So you were not supposed to like rip off somebody's gimmick, like a real wrestler's gimmick. You had to come up with your own shit, but it was okay to like base their physical appearance on somebody else. So I had a guy that was his name was Max Threat, and his physical avatar was Scott Steiner.
Okay, that's a weird choice.
Well, you got to remember, this was the late 90s, so
Yeah, I know.
WCW was king.
For just a few more minutes, yeah.
Yeah, when Nitro first took over and stuff, and that was all hot shit. But anyway, so I started taking over more of the jobbers and stuff, and so then my cousin did like all the announcements. So we also created announcer characters, right? So eventually, instead of just posting the output that was just spit out of that simulator program, which is basically just a description, sentence by sentence, of what's happening in the match.
Yeah. We
would sit there and we would break those up, and then we would write our announcer commentary in between the moves, like we're actually calling the match.
Yeah.
You have no idea the amount of time that was wasted doing this.
I was going to say, when did you meet your wife?
No, I wasn't married at the time. I was only like 25, 24, something like that. I mean, I was with her. We were dating and stuff, but...
she didn't know about this, right?
Yeah, she knew about it.
And she still married you?
Yeah, she did.
God damn, that woman's a saint.
She didn't give a shit. She thought it was dumb, but, like, what are you going to do? At least I wasn't going to strip clubs, I guess.
Oh, my God. See, when you first described this to me, I thought it was sort of like a fantasy league, sort of like, you know...
Oh, no. No, sir.
With fantasy football and shit, like where you track stats of...
No, sir.
You know,
no, sir.
real
no,
wrestlers.
Sir. Don't be ridiculous. That is just foolish.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you were writing and doing everything.
There's nothing creative about that, sir. Oh, yeah, dude. Like, I started doing, like real primitive photo editing, so that I had created like images of our title belts to put on the website. That's how I taught myself HTML, was working on the website for that eFed. Like, I didn't know how to program any of that shit. It was like when I first started going to school for programming. I didn't know any of that shit, so I taught myself all that stuff so that I could build this fucking wrestling website.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you.
But it was fun. We also had pay-per-views. So,
of course.
So you'd work your shows and your storylines and stuff all working up to a pay-per-view, and then you'd have this big payoff at the pay-per-view. So we had we had the Christmas pay-per-view, which was called Seasons Beatings. And then we had what was another one? WrestleFest, I think. Instead of WrestleMania, it was WrestleFest or some shit like that. I don't know. I can't remember all of them. Seasons Beatings is the one that sticks out because that's such a fucking tits name. Seasons Beatings.
You remember what I said? I know you remember, but let's just pretend I don't know. You remember what I said when you first told me about this on Twitter? Oh,
that it was adorable?
Yeah, I said, oh, that is so adorable.
Uh-huh.
Now that I know all the details, or as much of the detail as you're willing to tell me...
I'll tell you all. I'm not even done.
Oh my god!
This isn't even over yet, dude.
Oh shit! Dude,
it gets
is so fucking adorably cute.
It gets more advanced than this.
Oh good god. Strap in, people.
So anyway, I took over like most of the jobbers. So then I ended up doing the Tuesday or Thursday night show by myself. So he would run the like I actually had a copy of TNM 7 that he would let me have, and so it was set up exactly the same. Or no, I'm sorry. I think he would run the card real fast, and he would send me the results, and then I would have to edit and write the commentary for the Thursday night show or the Tuesday night show or whatever day it was.
Yeah.
So and it wasn't just commentary. We had to write, like, people had to send in. That was another requirement, was whether you were on the card or not, you had to send in a promo for the show. So you had to write out your own like backstage promo or whatever, okay, or a skit outside or whatever the fuck, okay. So you had to cut those all into the show, and you had to send in your entrance. You had to provide a ring entrance every week for your show.
Wow.
for your match.
Wow.
Most of the time it was just a stock. Like you wrote it out once.
Yeah.
And it was the same one every time, unless there was something major going on, and then you could write some extra shit.
Yeah.
But then the other thing, besides doing the commentary, you also had to write any kind of shenanigans that are going on during a match, because the simulator didn't do that kind of shit. Obviously, they just did, like, he hits this move, or he misses this move, or he throws him out of the ring, or whatever.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So if you had, like,
if there's a run-in or something.
Yeah, run-ins, yeah. And sometimes the simulator would throw in, like, a run-in, like just some random guy from the roster.
Yeah.
It was always funny because it was completely random. So it could have been somebody that was, like, hadn't been in this fucking league for, like, months, right? And all of a sudden, here he comes and fucking running into the ring because the simulator put him in. So sometimes we just left it in and we're just like, what the fuck was that? Our announcers would just be like, what the fuck is that? And or sometimes we'd edit it out and put somebody else in or whatever.
Yeah.
But
make it fit the situation if it needed to.
Yeah, but if it was something even more involved, you'd have to write all that out. It was all discussed. We hung out at my cousin's house on Friday nights, and we would discuss the upcoming week, like what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Who was fucking up, who was doing good, which leads me into the next expansion.
Revelation?
The next expansion, which was, like, we basically invented podcasting.
Okay.
In, like, 2000. Okay? Because we decided, wouldn't it be fun because, see, what we would do is we would run the cards on Friday night too. Like the Sunday card, the three of us would go over there, we'd get pizza, we'd get food, whatever, and we would sit down and we'd run the card and we'd see the results come out and we'd make fun of it or laugh and come up with ideas of what was going to happen, how we were going to write things in. And then back then you had AOL Instant Messenger, so it was kind of like a chat window. It was like an add-on for AOL, or it wasn't even an add-on. You could just get it separately, and so you could invite people or give people your Messenger ID so that you could, like, chat in, like, a sort of semi-private chat. But it wasn't it was almost like text messages before text messages.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine sending people text messages, but it's on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would have one of those open, and like all the real guys that were like legitimate, real life people running wrestlers would be on that instant messenger on Friday night, and they'd be bullshitting with us the whole time we were running the card, or just bullshit. Like we became friends with these guys just by talking to them on this instant messenger and through emails and stuff. So we thought, well, while we're doing all this, wouldn't it be fun to do like a radio show where we discuss like the prior week's events and like what's coming up and what's happening.
So sort of like a pre-game and a post-game type show thing.
Kind of, or like didn't like the WWF, didn't they do like shit like that where it was like,
yeah, that's how I kind of watched wrestling when I was little, around the time you're talking. They used to have like Saturday mornings or something, or Sunday mornings. They used to have a show where they would show clips from the week.
Yeah.
And then stand in the studio and talk about them.
Yeah, that was kind of what...
And what's going to happen next week.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we kind of were basing that on, you know?
Yeah.
So here's how we did it. Now, imagine this. Imagine this fucking ridiculous scenario.
Okay, I've got my eyes closed and I'm listening.
Okay, the three of us are sitting around his computer, and there's like one USB microphone. But it wasn't like a real microphone. It was like a shitty little voice-to-text type headset microphone or something. I can't even remember exactly what we used. But we would sit there and we would, using Windows Sound Recorder.
That's what I used to record my videos, yeah.
Yeah. We would sit there and just let that run, and we would talk pretty much unscripted, just talk shit about what's going on in the Fed. The files were so big that we could only do like 2 minutes at a time. We could only talk for like 2 minutes, and then we'd have to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So we would stop.
I've got a story about something like that too that I want to tell you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
we'd do like 2 minutes, like a 2 minute segment, okay, and then upload it to our website, and it would take like fucking 45 minutes to upload this file. And so then as soon as it was uploaded, we would like send out a blast to like all these people on Instant Messenger and say, go listen to the show now. You can go listen to this section of the show. And they'd go out and download it and listen to it. So when podcasts started coming around, it was like, fuck, we did this like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? And thinking about like, God damn, we would have been fucking dangerous if this kind of shit was around back then. You know? Because at the time, we thought we were hot shit. Like, I mean, to the point that it's ridiculous now when I think about it. It's like, you bunch of fucking losers. What a bunch of fucking losers. We were thinking like, dude, we could start an independent league. We could be like real wrestling promoters. We could really do this. Those were real conversations, dude.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any of these files?
No, I do not.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't have any of those. I have, and I did share that. That's where you saw some of the stuff. Was I do have. Oh my God, okay. Here's another escalation.
It gets worse.
Well, we burned a CD of everybody's entrance music.
Oh my God!
So it was like the WWF soundtracks that they would put out. Yeah. So we had the idea of, well, let's make. Actually, I think I only did one. I think I just did one for us as a joke. But so we did that, and then the thought came. Well, when I went to programming school, okay, we had one rotation was Visual Basic, okay, and as part of that class, your final exam was you had to create a program, okay, you had to come up with the idea. The teacher was a real jack off, but you had to come up with the idea and you had to code it and implement the whole thing, right? What do you think I picked as my project?
Probably something
gay.
E-Fetty?
I decided I was going to make our own wrestling simulator.
Holy shit.
And so I did it. I did it.
Oh my God.
I have it somewhere, I think. Or maybe not, because I think that's on floppy disk. That's how old that shit is. But it was lame.
Wow.
It fucking sucked. I got an A on it, I think. But I don't know. That's a long story. That whole class was a long story.
Yeah.
That kind of led to this other thing I'm about to tell you.
I'm prepared.
We decided because I had all this new programming knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we take? Because at the time we had like every show we'd ever done, the text files of them, because that's all they were text files. Okay. What if I create an app or a program to where it's like an archive of all of our shows? Okay, so you can install this thing on your computer, open it up, and it's basically just an archive of everything we've done. Okay, so you can go back and read shows from like 2 years ago or from a year and a half ago, okay?
Yeah.
So we did it.
Oh my God.
And I have that. So that's... So I have that, and I have some of the original website files, but that's what you saw was some excerpts from those shows. Not even excerpts.
Yeah.
I think I put entire shows up there.
Wow.
I had uploaded them and shared them. The reason why that even came up was I was thinking about some of the guys we would talk to and got to be kind of friendly with while we were doing this.
If you say what I think you're gonna say, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell me.
So it's probably not whatever you're thinking, but
oh God, I can hope.
One of the guys that I would talk to a lot was his character his name was E, was just his character's name.
Yeah.
He was a kid who lived in California. And
Okay.
He was probably 18, maybe 17, 18. He was going in. While we were doing this, he entered college. So anyway, I knew his real name and I knew about him.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a year or two ago, I went on Twitter and I was like, I wonder if this fucking guy is still around. I wonder if I just search his name if he'll pop up. I wonder if I can find some of these old guys that we played with. I put his name in and sure enough, I fucking found him. And he's a writer for zaptoit.com.
Did you fucking say anything to him?
Yeah, I did. I said, do you remember this thing? And he was like, yeah, I fucking remember that. So he followed me and I followed him. But his name's Chris Hayner. You can find him on Twitter, and he's a contributing writer for Zaptoit. So he gets to go to movie premieres and all kinds of shit. He's like a Mark Bernardin type.
Yeah, so you actually fucking... Wow, that's what I was gonna say. Did you get in contact with some of these fucking people?
He's the only one I found. Because
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Isn't that fucked up? Because the thing was nobody. I don't think anybody knew my real name on there. And this gets back to the catfishing thing.
Yeah.
Was I took over all the jobber characters, right? The guys that were meant to lose to the real people, but you still have to have a voice for them. They still have to talk shit to these guys and give them something to play off of.
Yeah.
So I would write all of their stuff, and I would constantly talk shit to all these guys, and like my announcer character was basically my identity on there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody knew. Like, I had a fake email account for him that I corresponded with all these people with. And
okay.
And the thing was, nobody fucking had any clue that I was the same person running all those other characters.
Wow.
Like when all this fell apart, because and I created like kind of non-jobber characters that were like if we didn't have enough people, I'd create new wrestlers to come in and make it seem like we constantly had people coming and going and new blood arriving, and if actual real people would join and started playing, those guys would kind of fade away. They wouldn't turn into like a straight up jobber. They'd just kind of like fade away.
Yeah.
And then when those people would leave, they'd come back.
Wow.
So I think at one point I was running probably 13 or 14, 15 characters.
Holy shit.
All with different personalities. And I know it's fucking crazy, right? And
I mean, how did you keep the shit straight, man?
it wasn't that bad, really. But what always really cracked me up was like knowing that none of these people knew that this was all the same person.
Yeah.
Like I could talk shit to somebody as one character, and that person would come to me as one of the heads of the organization and fucking complain about. And it's like, oh yeah, dude, I know what you mean. I had to act like I wasn't the guy.
On one hand, you're like, you're a stupid cocksucker and fuck you in the ear. Mm-hmm. That dude would come to you, to the other you, and be like, he called me a stupid cocksucker and said fuck me in the ear. And you're like, I know, that's a dick move, isn't it? He's like, yeah. And then you go back and be like, you're a whore.
Yeah, so it was
oh
really
my
fucked
God,
up.
Dude.
Yeah. So when this all fell apart,
and people call me crazy.
I know, it was really weird. Well, it was about the same. I was about the same age as you when this was going on. So
I know, but I mean, maybe it's because it's just not me, but it sounds crazier.
So when the Fed fell apart, we kind of had a falling out over stupid shit, and so I just left. I was like, I'm done. And so suddenly, like, 15 people disappear from this Fed. So then, like, people would still email me and be like, "Hey, man, like, what happened? Where'd you go?" Like to my announcer guy, to my front office guy, and I'd be like, I was like, "Oh yeah, I left. We don't see eye to eye on something," and so I was just like, "That's it. I'll just go. It's not fun anymore. I'm out." And
wow.
And they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, that sucks, man. Hey, did you know, like, the Smalls brothers left and fucking Max Threat's gone and fucking all these characters that I would run?" He's like, "Man, everybody's leaving. I don't understand." So it was like I left and took like half the Fed with me. So it was kind of fucked up.
Oh my God, dude.
So that's when I would. Well, I didn't say it then because I didn't really want to fuck my cousin over and like be like, "Oh yeah, it was me the whole time," and then have everybody be like, "Oh fuck this, I quit." And
yeah,
I was just like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I stick it out, man. He's gonna keep it going, so stick it out." But then once he eventually shut it down, then I eventually did tell a couple people, and they were like, "Are you fucking shitting me that was just you the whole time?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was just me the whole time." So it was like we invented catfishing and podcasting.
You brought up inventing podcasting. Here's a little fucking piece of my deep dark history. But see, the difference is I was like, this is like 10, 12 years ago. So I was like 13 or 14. I was somewhere between 11 and 14. That's the difference. I had this friend that when I was going to school, I was going to a school out in House Springs.
Uh-huh.
And it was like my first experience with the internet. And we didn't post it anywhere, but on the Microsoft sound recorder, it had that same time limit on it. It was like a minute to 2 minutes or something like that. We did a radio show too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I forget exactly what it was, but it's like a radio show, and I remember one, like we're having a conversation, and then it's like, "Oh my God, there's a helicopter!" And all of a sudden we're being shot at by a helicopter. It was fucking insanity and retarded. But again, I was like 12.
Yeah.
I wasn't 25 pretending to be fucking 35 people.
Oh, and so another escalation before that fell apart was we decided to expand and create a hardcore league.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Did you like have different brands?
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We had different. So we had the main Fed was the New Age Outsider Wrestling. Okay. And then we had the New Age. Yeah, then we had New Age Japan Wrestling. So that was like a Japanese wrestling league.
Okay.
So then that was like hardcore. It was all Japanese characters.
Yeah, and like death matches and shit.
Yeah. And then
So, did you have characters there that you ran too?
Oh yeah. That was my idea. The Japanese one was my idea.
How did you maintain sanity?
Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
This is fucking nuts, dude.
I know. And then
I mean,
let's see what else. Well, okay, so then that I left that fed, and then it folded.
Yeah.
So I had I had two announcer characters. Sorry, I had Dan Biggs and Terry Hook. They called him the captain, Captain Hook, right?
Okay.
He was an ex-wrestler. Dan Biggs was a big fat fuck, and his avatar picture was John Panette. Do you know who that is?
Say it again.
John Panette,
the comedian. Wasn't he in the Punisher, the Tom Jane Punisher?
Maybe.
Or am I thinking about somebody different?
Maybe I didn't see that. So he was.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. He died a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him, and he kind of got a squeaky voice every once in a while.
Yeah. So I used him to represent that guy, and then Terry Hook was
actually a pretty good comedian.
Oh yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah,
that's why I mean his persona wasn't based off him, but his look, what I imagined him to look like, was based off of him. So they were partners. Okay, so they did one show together, and so basically the whole time it was just my Terry Hook character, just like fucking roasting Dan Biggs. Dan Biggs was the straight man. He was trying to call the matches, and then Terry Hook was the Bobby the Brain Heenan type, and he would just fucking skewer Dan Biggs the whole time, like fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
So when I left, I took those guys with me, right? So those were mine. So then I started my own fed.
Without your...
Yes. On my own.
Oh my
Totally
God.
solo. So that was called the Big Time Wrestling Alliance. Spelt with the name spelt like Dan Biggs' name, B-I-G-G.
Yeah.
So he was the president of that. He was the president of that league. And then and then I got some of the guys came over after my cousin's fed folded. Some of those guys came over.
Oh my God.
And that one didn't last that long. That one only lasted, I don't know, 6 months or so. Then I just lost interest and was like, yeah, this is fucking... Then I started looking back on those 2 years, like after it all kind of blew up, and it was like, what a fucking waste of 2 years. You know, it seemed so awesome at the time, and then it was like, what a fucking waste of time.
Well, I mean, like, I can understand the role-playing aspect, and there's people, you know, they've been role-playing for decades using the same character or characters.
Yeah.
But this is a whole nother fucking level, dude.
It was like creative writing with rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like you're playing a game of D&D with yourself.
Kinda. And there were times when I had to do that too. was write both sides of the match. Both sides of a promo, like talking back and forth to myself. And then fucking guys,
did you favor different characters?
Oh yeah. I had these two the Smalls brothers. I invented those guys. They were a tag team because we needed tag teams.
Yeah.
So it's Danny and Derek Smalls. Derek Smalls named after the Spinal Tap bass player.
Okay.
And they were brothers, and they were kind of like the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
And they lived in a shitty apartment, and most of their promos were cut in their apartment. And sometimes it would end with them fucking wrecking the place, fighting each other over who ate the last of the cereal, shit like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow. I mean, I can't even laugh anymore. It feels cruel. Oh my God. So, like, I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious. You've always had kind of a flair for role-playing and that type of shit?
Yeah. I mean, I've
or maybe
liked
not
it.
Flair.
Yeah, I've liked it, but it's really like the advent of the internet that really, like, let me do some weird shit. Like, not weird, but like, yeah, not weird, but it's like that the anonymity of the internet.
And isn't it funny, like, back in the day, it's like, don't you ever tell anybody your name, your age, or your location on the internet. Now it's like, if they don't fucking say their name, you know,
you're not real.
suspect. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I think about that all the time, and like we thought it was hilarious at the time, but now it's like, man, it's kind of fucked up how we were lying to those people, and like, you know, the whole, I mean, like it's straight up catfishing, dude. Like,
yeah,
like they thought they were talking to real people, and they weren't talking to real people. They were talking to like 3 guys.
I was gonna say they were talking to real people, just nowhere near what they thought they were doing.
Yep.
That's fucking insane.
I know, and I think they all did it. I think all the feds did that, because that used to be a big thing, man. Like that used to be a hot shit thing. Like they were all over the place.
Really?
Yeah, I did a search today to see if that was even still a thing, and I guess it kind of is, but not like it was.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So anyway, then that was the end of wrestling for me, because I was really only like into wrestling because we were doing this Fed.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I started watching again and stuff, and you know I did like it, I enjoyed it, but once that Fed part wasn't there, and it was like
it kind of took out your reason for being there.
Yeah, and it was like, this really isn't my thing, really. Like I was doing it because the other thing was fun.
Yeah, I gotcha. So like, were you a WCW dude?
Yeah, I was both.
Oh, okay.
I was probably more WCW at first.
Okay.
Because fucking WWF got like super raunchy and super.
Oh yeah.
And super like what the fuck are they doing, man? WCW was more about, you know, it was more traditional kind of wrestling, I guess.
Yeah. But see, that's the part of the evolution of the business. That's what won the war for WWF, WWE.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And I mean, I'm not going to deny it. Some of that shit, that's great shit even now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but then some of it's like, what? How is this even on TV?
Even the really good shit, it's like, it is like, how did this get past the censors?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, for quite a while, WWE at the time, but WWE, they still taped a lot of their shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they were doing, you know, a 1-hour show a week, and then they would tape 2 episodes a week. So it's kind of like, you know, you'd have a live show, and then next week's taped, and then a live show. And even then, they would have shit that it's like, this is weird. How are they getting away with this?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they went just flat out live taping every week, it got worse. And it's like, okay, I guess at that point it's just like, you know, do what you want and then deal with the fallout later. But I mean, they kept getting sponsors and they kept getting more viewers, and it's like, how is this possible?
Yeah, and then the bottom kind
of
fell out a little.
They did crazy shit. But yeah, that's just... That's a piece of history right there. Yep.
I'm a pioneer, guys.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like Steve Jobs and, you know, people like that. I'm an innovator and I'm a maverick ahead of the times.
I'm fucking speechless at this point. Because it's like, some of the weird shit I do, it's like, I don't feel so bad about it anymore.
So anyway, maybe one of these days I'll throw one of those shows up for people to read.
Yeah, that would be... And hey, if you don't have a place to house it, I've got a place for you.
Oh yeah, I could donate one of those shows to your blog site.
Oh wow, that's okay.
Could be even like content for a future show. I could send you a copy of one of the shows and we could read through it, and you could pick it apart and make fun of it.
Well, yeah, we could do that, or you know, take it seriously and actually read it as a like a radio play, or
yeah, maybe.
No,
maybe.
I mean, we could make it a segment on the show. Who knows? Well, I guess we need to move along to the final segment, huh? I just want to apologize real quick. We'll probably get to it next time we record. But at Corny Jenkins, he sent us a couple questions for our 10th episode, and as you see, we didn't really get to them because we had a lot of other stuff on our plate.
Uh-huh.
But I just wanted to say sorry to him and thank you. We will get to him. I promise you that. So yeah, let's go to are you ready to go to our other new segment?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's hurry up and we got to wrap this up.
Okay.
Fuck this shit.
Okay, now you give us yours first. Because
Okay.
mine is something that I know you'll have a lot of fire on.
Okay. Rib meat.
Rib meat?
Rib meat. Fuck your rib meat. When I buy chicken tenders or fucking chicken nuggets, I don't want your goddamn rib meat, okay? All this shit says with rib meat, fuck you and your rib meat.
Okay.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, not really.
You ever bought frozen chicken nuggets at the store and it says with rib meat?
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't want your fucking rib meat ground into my chicken nugget. Get that fucking shit out of there.
And this angers you because...
Because I fucking hate it.
Can you tell what's rib meat and what's not?
Yeah, rib meat's all fucking hard and chewy and it's the shit that's like fucking tendons and shit.
Okay, I've never
or like a chicken breast. It's got a fucking big old hunk of meat hanging off the side. It's fucking gross. I have to cut that shit off before I cook it. It's fucking nasty. It's held on with a piece of white fucking skin or tendon or some shit. Just fucking cut it off. Why the fuck is it hanging on there? All it does is add to the weight of the package.
Yeah.
You fucking
and that's
crooked
why they
little
do
cocksucker. Yeah, crooked bastard. So take your rib meat and shove it up your fucking ass. Fuck that shit.
That's something I haven't even ever considered, man.
Yep.
Okay, well, I don't have nothing to add to that.
No, I didn't figure you would, but they've been warned. They're on notice now. Fucking butchers.
Okay.
Cut that shit off.
All right then. Well,
bitch.
mine this week is something that I know that you've really railed against for a while, and I have too. Probably not to the extent that you have, but still, I have.
Uh-oh.
All these fucking cocksuckers out there that claim to be the biggest fan of anything. Fuck off, alright?
Oh, yeah, fuck off.
You want to fucking shit on somebody because you've been a fan of something for longer? Yeah, that's why your fucking franchise is gonna die, because of cocksuckers like you that are out there, I've been a fan of this, I'm the biggest fan. Fuck you, dude. Without new blood, that shit's gonna die, and you're gonna be just fucking sitting in your corner covered in fucking dust, acting like an asshole because you're the biggest fan. I'm the biggest fan. Fuck off. Ugh. I've been seeing that shit a lot in like the last week or so, and it's like, okay, I get it. New fans can be annoying and shit, but you were fucking new at 1.2, asshole.
Some of us were new when the thing was new, but, you know, still.
It doesn't matter. If you're gonna be fucking a dick like that, fuck off.
No, I would never be a dick like that.
And the thing that really gets, and I mean, it's kind of a sidebar off of this topic, is like the new fans who come in and try to fucking talk shit to the old fans because, you know, they're new. Fuck you too.
Yeah, fuck you too.
If you're gonna try and fucking wave your dick as a fan of anything, don't be a fucking asshole about it, alright?
Yeah.
Or you get a resounding fuck you. Don't fucking try to cut other people off, and don't try to fucking show off because you just learned something a week ago that I've known for 6 years. Alright, assholes?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's this week's fuck this shit. So now I guess it's time to wrap up, huh?
Yep. Went by fast.
I know. And
I mean, this was mostly just me bearing my soul and airing my dirty laundry.
And me fucking biting my knuckles, giggling my ass off.
Oh, you weren't supposed to bite your knuckles, man. You're
Well, I
supposed
was
to come
trying
at me.
to.
Maybe next episode after you have a week or so to process.
Oh God, you don't want that. I was fucking stifling laughs the entire time. I'm sure you'll hear it on my recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wow. So yeah, we covered a lot of shit though, you know? So let's wrap up how we always wrap up and thank once again thank J Sarge for our intro song. At the J Sarge on Twitter. He's a great fucking dude. He does a great job with the music for all the shit that he does. It's much appreciated, sir.
Yep. Thanks, J Sarge.
And then at Sherry Says on Twitter. Sherry, she did our logo. Again, it's fucking amazing. I love it. And she does great work, too. No matter what she does fucking well. Again, I've said, like, the logo, she's done voice work for me and us. She's a pretty damn good singer, too, so thanks to both of them.
Sherry's awesome.
Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because there's 4 swear reels up that I cut from our first 3 episodes. Episode 3 swear reel was so fucking long that it had to be cut in half.
We swear a lot.
Yes, we do. I honestly thought that it was just going to be me. No, you swear a lot, too.
I've gotten sort of out of the habit working in an office for so long, but yeah, when you get me going, I go right back to... You get a chance,
you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I go right back to working in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Working on a dock.
Well, I did. I figured it was just going to be all me, fuck, cocksucker, motherfucker, son of a bitch. Pussy fart. But cutting that, yeah, you've got a lot of the fucking shit in there too. So, yeah, it's not just me. He's a potty mouth too.
Yep.
And you've seen him. Did you like those?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, come on, we got to convince the people to watch the shit.
No, yeah, they're good. They're good. I like them. I like how you've been kind of coming up with different themes for each one.
Yeah, it's not even like I'm coming up with themes, because as I cut those, I'm cutting everything in order. All those swears are in sequence. And it seems like
they just came out that way.
Yeah, it seems like whenever we get to talking, we have a theme throughout it. Like the second one, it sounded like we both love playing with shit. And then what was it? The third one, that one we both kept talking about cum.
As we do.
Yeah, what's a better way to spend a fucking Saturday night than talking about cum?
Mm-hmm. With another dude.
There's going to be more swear reels. We're going to be putting up somehow in some way. And at some point, we're going to be putting up compilations of the Dooms Joke Corners, because I know y'all love it so much. Oh, I just posted an alternate theme for Dooms Joke Corner, so check that out. And we're trying to get even more shit. Think of even more shit to post on the channel. So yeah, search Nerd Blitz on YouTube and subscribe to us. Follow us on Twitter. The pod is at Nerd Blitz Pod. I'm at the Scooby Doom. You are
at Fitzman73.
My other account is at TSDJA Production. Your other account and podcast is
at JJ2End, and the podcast is just up to the end. You can go to jj2end.com.
We said the camping trip at the top of the show. That's tsdjproductions.bandcamp.com. Go there and get the camping trip, and you'll get like 3.5 hours of content. The camping trip, and then the bonus pod. And then, yeah, hopefully soon, book club will start. Hopefully it'll have started by this point or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we still don't know.
But yeah, that's all we got for you, so...
Bye.
Come back next time. Our sanity depends on it. This has been a feature of JJ2E Media and TSDJA Productions.